fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Shodo superset for Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, also known as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here in the US. So this is a nice set of 6 Shodo figures. I did the whole team here. This was a premium Bandai release. Really nice artwork here on the front, and you have a really nice shot of all 6 of the figures there on the top. Over on this side we see red and green, and then we have the other 4 over here on this side. Spinning it around to the back, we have a shot of them combining all the weapons together, and you can put the shield on red if you'd like. And then we have a breakdown of all the accessories over here. Now with this set, unfortunately, all the weapons have stickers. The nice thing is that the figures are fully painted, but there are going to be a ton of stickers to do for all of the different accessories. So I will go ahead and get everything stickered up, and then we'll take a closer look. So here are the 6 Rangers fully assembled and stickered up, and I should clarify, the figures themselves don't really have any stickers with the exception of the Morpher/Changer on the belt buckle. Also, I'm just going to apologize now, I'll probably be waffling back and forth between the American terms for things and the Japanese terms for things. I'll do my best to give both if I know them, but it's just, I know them as both, so I'm sure my brain's just going to go back and forth, so just apologizing ahead of time. But we'll start over here with Saber-Tooth Tiger/Tiger Ranger. Really nice paint applications there on the helmet, as you can see. All of the stickers are really just for the accessories, but there are a ton of accessories with this set. So obviously every Ranger has their individual weapons. They have the 3 versions of the Blade Blaster, whatever it's called in Japan, I'm not sure. But basically that's a lot. Now I did not do all 15 versions of the Blade Blaster with the stickers for this video because it would have taken forever, and this already took me long enough to get all the stickers on. So I'll show off each of them. So you can see here we have the bladed version, and this is kind of like 3 stickers. You have a sticker for the blade piece, you have a sticker for this main section, and then you have another sticker for the handle down here, and then that's on both sides. So that's the bladed version. Of course, you have the gun version as well, which looks pretty good. And then you have the kind of condensed version. Now, you can't actually put this version in the holster. I'm assuming this was included because there is that pose that the 5 do where 2 of them stand on the shoulders of the other 3, and then they put these all together to form that kind of large blast. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to replicate that here because there's no way I'll get them to balance. But if you can somehow pull it off, they do give you 5 of... So you get 5 of each of these 3 forms. So that's 15 Blade Blasters in total. Not to mention, you do get everyone's individual weapons. You have the holsters here. You can see this is one big sticker that wraps around the entire holster. And this one has the Blade Blaster in it. So if you have them holding their regular weapons, you can just have that in there. And then if you want to take this off, you do get a version of the holster that is empty. So if you have them using the Blade Blaster, you can go ahead and put the empty holster on so it can be accurate depending on which route you want to go. So I think that's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on there. And I will take a quick look at the sticker here for the Changer/Morpher. You can kind of see what the coin is supposed to be. Some of these are very hard to tell. They're just so small. I mean, they did their best. I don't really, I can't fault them for that. But that's just one big sticker that goes on there. It is painted black, so the black around the edge is painted. It's just kind of the silver sticker that goes on top of that. And you can see that they're all going to have this hole on the side, and the real reason for that is so that when you use the Red Ranger with the Dragon Shield, he can have the Blade Blaster holster and the Dragon Dagger holster. So technically you could give anyone you want both. It's meant for red, and because they all kind of share the same base mold, they all have that hole. So I don't know, it's a little unfortunate. It's not that big a deal if you want to give, I think you can pretty much give the Dragon Shield to anyone. And I'll show you how that works later. There's a panel you have to pop out, and we'll look at that later on because we will do it with the Red Ranger. Now, they're not all going to have the bands on the arms, but if you want to just give them the shield, I think that's possible. Articulation-wise, you have a ball joint at the base of the helmet, so you can see look side to side, no problem. You can look up, you can look down. You do have a ball joint at the base of the neck as well, so that's 1, 2 right there in the neck, base of the helmet, and base of the neck. You have a little bit of a butterfly joint here in the shoulder as well as a ball joint. You have a bicep swivel, little over 90 degree there in the elbow, and then you do have wrists that you just pop out, so of course they can swivel, and you come with a ton of different hand options. So we have the gripping hands, we have like trigger finger hands, and then they have a ton of just posing hands. I'm not going to show them all off here. They were on the box I showed a little bit earlier, but they have kind of just like open hands, kind of the fingers together, like almost kind of karate chop hands, just a wide variety of poses. So you have all kinds of possibilities that you can replicate with all the different hand options. You do have a ball joint here in the torso, as well as a ball joint at the waist. You have a ball joint in the hip, so you can kick pretty far forward. Decently back, a little bit out to the side, might just have to move that holster out of the way. Of course, you have a thigh swivel. I would say definitely over 90 degrees there in the knee, and then you have a ball joint in the ankle. So they're really nice little figures. Like I said, really nicely detailed, really nicely made. And you can see the stickers here for the daggers. And like I said, there's just a ton of stickers in this set. All the holsters, the power coins, or basically the changers, the whole belt buckle, all of the weapons, all of the blade blasters. It's a lot of stickers. So it's up to you how much of them you actually want to do. Like I said, I just did one of each type of the blade blaster just to show it off, but you do get 5 of each, which is kind of nuts. Next up, we have the Mastodon or Mammoth Ranger, and you can see he comes with the axe form, and he also comes with the blaster form, and you can see it's got connections there. You can actually combine the weapons. We'll do that a little bit later on. Again, a ton of stickers. This is like 4 stickers per side. Then you have one that wraps around the column there in the middle. And this one I think actually came out pretty good. You can tell that that's a Mastodon there in the coin there. And it looks really sharp. I think they did a really good job. And I think the axe mode looks really great as well. His helmet is beautifully detailed. Really nice paint applications there. He's got all the same articulation as Yellow. His belt buckle is a little bit more difficult to tell what's going on there. Again, it's very small. They did their best. I can't really fault them for that. But he looks great. Really, really nice there as well. Oh, now Yellow wants to fall over. It's just about finding the right balance. Next up, we have Tyrannosaurus, or the Tyranno Ranger. Really nice paint there for the helmet. They actually got the yellow trim around the visor. Something Hasbro has not been able to do. Again, all the same articulation, but I love the sword. It is a really nice size. It is huge. The stickers look really good. I'm really happy with how that came out. I really love the sword for him. He looks absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, my favorite, Dragon Ranger. I just love this suit. I love the really dark kind of emerald green with the gold. You can see he's got the Sword of Darkness. Again, I don't know what this was called in Japan, but that looks really cool. And you can see our first example of the trigger finger hand. I just wanted to give him one. I was trying to get him to play the flute, which he can't really do because he doesn't have the articulation you need. But I was trying to get, this up to his mouth. Let's see if I spin this around. I know it won't look 100% correct, but I was trying to put this up here. Let me see if I can get this to work. I mean, really, you would need double jointed elbows, I think, to get this to work. And then I was trying to have the other hand come up here and play the flute. So it's not really going to work, but it still looks great. Let me see if I can zoom in here so you can see the sticker. And you can definitely see, I will say his coin is one where you can actually tell what it is because it's rather simplistic. And he's also got a gold morpher, which is nice. And I will say they did give a gold version of the Tyranno morpher for when he has the dragon shield. But obviously you can't really swap the stickers, so you kind of just have to pick which one you want and go with it. So I gave him the regular one because, he's not going to have the shield most of the time. And then you can see here we have a empty version of the holster for the Dragon Dagger. But it does come with one that has the Dragon Dagger inside. You can see it's very tiny. It's very shrunk down, but if you want to put one where that is in the holster, you do have that option. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this back on. But yeah, the dagger looks great. I think that looks really good. And the Sword of Darkness looks really good as well. Let me put this back in here. And the nice thing is that the hands are a little rubbery. Not a ton, but they do have a little bit of give because some of the weapons are a little bit larger. So you do need a little bit of give to kind of get the weapons in there. But that looks fantastic. I mean, that's one giant sticker, and it came out really good. Now, how this works when you want to switch the shield, which I'll do a little bit later, you have to kind of completely take this off. And then there are a second set of biceps for red that have the bands that we'll have to switch out. So we'll do that in a little bit. But the helmet looks fantastic. Really nice paint. And again, he's got all the same articulation, but you can see he's got the gold trim. He does have the different, he has the triangle as opposed to the diamonds, which is accurate. So yeah, just all in all, a really great looking figure. He looks absolutely fantastic. Very happy with how he came out. Next up, we have Triceratops or Zyuranger. Again, really nice paint applications for the helmet here. Now, I think he technically should have a white trim at the top. I think that's what the screen accurate helmet looks like. So I'm a little bummed that it doesn't have that. But everything else is painted really nice. We'll take a close look at his coin. Not really one that I can kind of see it. But again, it's very small. You can see it a little better here on the weapons. Not great, but a little better. And those have a ton of stickers. There's a sticker for each side just for the trident piece. Then there's stickers here on the side to kind of fill up this empty space, which I do appreciate. And then there's a sticker that wraps around the whole handle. Now, there is no way to combine them into the lance, which is kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping they would just give us a solid lance piece, but unfortunately they did not. But again, he still looks great. Really nice articulation. Again, same as all the others. The only one that has, I guess she doesn't really have any different articulation for Pink. Let's see if I can get him to stand. There we go. So next up we have Pink. Now she has the skirt, which is kind of a softer rubber, so you can still kind of get, a little bit of the posing. Obviously the hips are going to be hindered a little bit, but she really does have all the same articulation. Obviously just the torso is going to look different, a little bit more slender, but I think the matte paint job on the helmet really looks nice. Really nice job there. And she's got all the same articulation, the helmet, the arms. And we'll try to take a look at her power coin. It's really difficult to see what they are. But the bow came out good. I think they did a nice job with that. That's all stickers, and I think that came out pretty good. You can see all the connection points underneath for when we combine the weapons. She doesn't come with an arrow, though, which is one thing I was a little bummed about, but it's not a huge deal. I kind of just have her in this archer pose, and I gave her one of the trigger finger hands just to kind of simulate where she would be holding an arrow if they had given us one. But yeah, these all just look really, really good. They did a really nice job. The stickers were definitely a pain, but we're going to cause some dominoes here. I don't know why. It's just kind of weird getting them to... They don't have trouble standing. I'm just really bad at posing figures. That's really all it is, I promise. Just flatten the feet there. So the figures you're left with look really good, in my opinion. It's nice having a set of the Zyuranger / MMPR in the Shodo scale. They look good. Like I said, the figures themselves, if you don't care about the weapons, you could just take them right out of the box and display them. But if you really want the weapons to shine, you have to get those stickers on there. And they are a pain, and they do take a long time. But what you're left with really does look good. I will say the stickers apply nicely, and the fact that they stay stuck on there once you apply them, they look good. It's just time consuming, that's all. But yeah, these figures look really, really good. So I think first what we'll do is we'll go ahead and combine the weapons. Alright, so we'll have Tyranno Ranger assist us here, but we're going to go ahead and start with the axe. And you have to use the one that has the piece. It doesn't slide or move at all, but it has it kind of molded to be slid out so that it is in the blaster configuration. We're going to take the bow, and you can see that there is a little channel right here that has a tiny little peg inside, and then you can see that there is a tiny little peg hole right here. So we're just going to line that up and peg that right in there, and it does so pretty easily. Then I'm going to take the daggers, which you can see have a tiny little tab on the end, and they have these tab spots. Now the nice thing is that the tabs are size specific, so I can't really put this one in the wrong spot. So it is meant to go in the outer spot. You can see that the size of the slots are just a little bit bigger so that the blue will go on the inside. And so you just go ahead and peg these in very simply. It can be a little difficult, and honestly it might be easier to do these before you attach the bow to the axe, just because then the axe doesn't really get in the way, but it's still not too difficult to get it done. There we go. So we have everything attached, and then we just take the sword and drop it on top like so, and there we go. We have our combined weapons. Looks really, really good. They did a really nice job of this. Like I said, the stickers really do shine once you have them all attached. And then we'll just go ahead and pop this into his hand here. And you can see that they left stickers off of this area, which I appreciate. They went out of their way to not put stickers on the hand holding areas when they could. That way they're not rubbing off in the character's hands. But there you go. He's got the combined blaster. Now I will say, obviously, this is going to make him very front heavy. So trying to find a pose where we can get him to actually hold all of that weight is a little difficult. But it can be done. But I just have to kind of lean him back a little bit. I swear I've done this before. Nope, is that worse? We kind of just have to kind of tilt him back a little bit. There we go. It is doable. So that's really cool. I love that the weapons can combine, and it's not really in a very intrusive way. And when I say that, I mean like the characters can pretty much all wield their weapons, and it's not an issue. You know, the pegs are not in the way very much in terms of wielding the individual weapons, which I really appreciate. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll transfer the Dragon Shield over to the Red Ranger, and we're going to start by just kind of moving him back, and we'll start over here with Green Ranger. I'm going to go ahead and take the dagger out of his hand, and we're going to go ahead and take his holster as well. We're going to start by detaching the arms, so they're just on ball joints, so you just pop them off fairly simply. Then we have to pull the whole head and neck out, like so. Then you have to come over here to the side, and you can see how it has these little gold rings. So we're going to pop one of these off, just like that. And then we have to pull the diamond out of the shield, because that kind of pegs in and solidifies everything. It's a little bit easier said than done, but it can be done. It might be easier if I pop this. Well, I was trying to pop it off at the... I can't even hold on to him. If I pop him off, there we go. Then you can see how it kind of connects there, so it might be a little bit easier to get the finger in here. There we go. So it has these two pegs, which peg in there, and then you kind of have to, like, it clicks into place pretty well, and so it's a little difficult, but you kind of got to wiggle it off. There we go. So now we have our poor Green Ranger here that's been completely disassembled. We're going to come over here back to the Red Ranger. We're going to pop his head off. We're going to pop his arms off. We're going to pop his torso off, because you kind of have to get in here and wiggle out this white diamond. So pop that off. And if you want, you can go ahead and give that to the Green Ranger, and then we can kind of start to put him back together. So if you want to have a shot of the Green Ranger without the shield, you certainly can. Now, he does not come with alternate arms, so he's going to have the gold bands regardless. Come on now. Clip back on, please. There we go. So you can still have the Green Ranger here without the shield, but he will still have the bands because they did not include a version of his arms without the bands. So this is kind of where it gets weird. So you have to pull this out of here, which is a little bit easier said than done. But there you go. So pop that off. Then you have to kind of pop this section off. You can see how it's just kind of a mushroom peg there. Pop that off. Then we're going to take our alternate banded arms and pop this on. And then we have to pop this back on, like so. Now we have to push this onto the red and clip that into place. Then we have to peg the diamond back in, and then we can peg our new arm on like so. We can go ahead and pop the head back in, and then I have to deconstruct the other arm still. So pop that off, pop this off, pop this one back on. So it's a decent amount of work, which is a shame, but what you're left with does look good when you are done. And then pop this on, and then we will go ahead and give him the holster over here for the dagger, utilizing that extra peg spot. And then we can go ahead and give him the dagger. So there you go. So you are able to give the shield... Oh, I forgot to peg in I got to put this harness strap back in. Come on now. I know you can do it. There we go. Okay, now he's good to go. So he looks good. I mean, it fits on there very nice and snug. It's not puffy or anything. It looks perfect. And I do really like the look of that. They even gave him the armbands and everything. So I really appreciate that. I think he looks really good. You can go ahead and transfer that shield over. Now, if you wanted, if it's an episode, or if he just gave him the shield for a minute, you could leave these arms on since he still has the bands. If you want to simulate what he looked like after they got rid of the Green Ranger, then you could have the full banded look. So that's really more screen accurate, but I think that's really cool. Now, I think you could go ahead and technically give... Let me see here if I just take... Why does it always pop off at the wrong spot? I think you can pop this out because, like I said, they're all the same mold. So if I go ahead... Yeah, so I can. So I can take this off, and that means I can give the shield to any of the Rangers, which I think is really cool. So, I mean, we saw Black have the shield on the show once. The American show, at least. I don't think that happened in the Japanese version. If you want... Now, I don't think it's going to work with Pink because she has the different torso, which is really a shame because I would love to simulate that time in the American comics where she wore the shield, but I don't think that's going to work because she has the different torso, and it kind of has to really clip in, and it's very snug to the torso as it is. So, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work for Pink, but you should be able to use it on blue, yellow, or black, which is pretty cool. Now, again, they won't have the right armbands, but you could at least give them the shield. So this is a really nice set of figures. I love having this team in the 4-inch scale. They look fantastic. Really nicely detailed, really nicely painted, really nicely articulated, and you get a ton of accessories. Now, it is a bit of a bummer that you have to put so many stickers on all the accessories, but once you do, they really do look really nice, and they came out really great. The only complaint I have with the set is that some of the weapons require there to be stickers on the handles where the characters would grip them, and that can kind of cause them to kind of like peel or rub off a little bit, depending on how you put them into the hand. So that's just something to be a little careful about. I guess you could always put like a clear coat or some kind of shellac on the weapons themselves to prevent that. I haven't really gone that extra route, but that is, some people do kind of like clear nail polish or sticky tack things. Not sticky tack, but I forget what it's called. But there's things you can get out there to kind of give a clear coat to really make sure that those stickers don't peel. And that might be something you want to do for some of the weapons, just because, like I said, putting them in and out of the hands can cause them. But a lot of the weapons don't have that issue, like the bow, the dagger, the axe in the axe mode, and some of the like Sword of Darkness, some of those kinds of things. So it's kind of a trade-off. So they did where they could, you know, not have stickers on the handles, which I do appreciate because then you don't run into that problem. But that's, again, not a huge concern, just something to be careful about, and really my only complaint with the set. Otherwise, these look really great. I absolutely love how they came out, and really happy to add them to the collection. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.